Welcome to This Week in Airsofters. This is Javier Dark Horse with This Week in Airsoft. This week and today we're going to be talking about replica PEQ boxes. Particularly PEQ 15s are these two models. Now, one is desert obviously and one's black. And these obviously, the way I picked them and I pulled them out is to make it easier for me to talk about them. Is the desert one is a green laser with a LED, and the black one is a red laser with an LED. These are not battery boxes, although you have your models that are battery boxes. These are strictly laser and LED flashlights, and you can get them in other ways too. But they're basically going to be the size and shape and form in the PEQ 15 families. These are both made out of ABS plastic. They're a good tough material. My big kind of no-no about it that I don't like is that the rail system right here where it attaches, that clamp is plastic, even though the screw is metal. But this clamp is plastic, so there's a break potential right there for you to keep aware of. Also, this leading edge in the body being plastic can eventually wear, so you got to keep that in mind. Keeping that in mind and that possibility, see it's got a little loop back here. Dummy cord it through your rail system, because this is something that looks like it could pop right on off, and you don't want to lose it. Considering these are like these are about $55 overseas at like EB Airsoft or Airsoft Club, and they're even more at like Evike and local in the country, $65, $70 kind of retailers. Some of the switches and the features, I'm just going to do it off of the desert one because it's tan and a little more contrast. But what you see is you have a center on and off switch. Then you have your degree of switches here, which is obviously 0 right there means off, all off. This one does not. These do not have IR illuminators. That's just for grins. Your first click will turn on the LED. Now these are advertised at 270 lumen LEDs. Honestly, I do not think they're that bright. But it kind of gets the job done. It's not a really bright light, but it gets the job done for an LED. It does use the 123 battery, so it is a power drainer, especially with that laser. Then your next click goes over, and your laser comes on. And like I said, this one is the green laser. It's a very powerful laser, and I still got the dust cover kind of thing over it. And that's a powerful laser. It's about as bright as a green laser as I've seen. And the ones we use in the Army were obviously were definitely brighter. But this thing is pretty bright. I'm not going to shine it directly into the camera. Well, hold on. We'll see. Let's see what it does. There you go. Hopefully I didn't just blind you. But that's pretty bright. Alright, so now then your third click is going to be your dual mode, which means the laser and the light are on at the same time. Now this can be a power drain, so be aware of that. That's gonna suck down the juice on your PEQ 15 pretty quick. So those 1, 2, 3 batteries, you might want to keep a couple extra. Oh, hold on, I'll show you the switch in the center. Press her down, off, press it down, it comes back on. These also, both of them come with the little pressure switch for the rifle, along with the, its little decals for you to see. Same thing in the other box, pressure switch, decals for decoration, and you can choose which ones you want to put on there. These do adjust left and right, up and down. The flashlight doesn't adjust all that much, but it's a flashlight. The green laser does adjust on these, and so does the red laser on that one. So they do adjust. So it's kind of nice because you can kind of zero it into the ballpark of where you're firing, and that's a nice additional feature with these. Now let me go ahead and turn the red one on. I mean the red laser model, so you can see how that baby works. All right. So first click. LED light, supposedly 270 lumen. Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but it'll get the job done. That's what matters. Next click is the red dot. Note how the red dot is not nearly as bright as the green. If it was, it's typical red dot kind of thing. It's a little foggy outside. You'll be able to see it. Well, with that green dot, it doesn't have to be foggy. All it has to be is a little dark, and you can see that thing. You can see that beam, no problem. If it's a dusty day in your house, you'll be able to see that beam indoors in the house. And that's just really wild there that you can see it. It's really, really good. Then, like I said, there's your dual mode, big on and off center switch. All right, and the rifle switch also. I'm gonna leave these on at the laser real quick so we can kind of compare two lasers. That's kind of what we really want to see, because the lights are exactly the same. They're the 270 supposed lumens, both of them. But what sets these two optics apart is the laser. Here's your red laser brightness, and here's your green laser brightness. A sharp contrast in the way they both look. I'm doing it one-handed. I'm going to stack one on top of the other, and boom. Note the huge difference in the brightness level of these two lasers and how they operate. You can almost start to see the beam even through the camera of the red laser. Now remember, a more powerful laser is going to be a bigger drain on the battery that it takes, and it only takes one 2, 3 battery. So you definitely want to have spares. You want to have extras. Once again, also on this one, so you can see you can adjust it. Key points to talk about and understand about these items. A lot of guys are, why do you get one? Why do you have one? Okay, obvious. Indoor game, especially dark games and night games, you want a light. Even during day games indoors, having a light is a good tool and additional weapon to kind of blind your opponent and make it that much harder for them to engage you. So it's important to actually have that. Also, with the lasers, the red dots, you gotta move beyond. Oh, it's a red dot laser, it's a green laser that I can shine on somebody and it looks cool when they're getting shot. That's not necessarily the point of aiming lasers. The Army and their real PEQ boxes, they are IR PEQ lasers. You can't see with the naked eye. The two sides, they don't have a flashlight and they don't have a laser in one. No, they have a straight laser in one, and they have a laser and they have a spotting light on the other side, or a laser with different kind of covers, creating different shapes. And I just popped that off. It's not broken, it just popped off. And that's the point of the Army using it. It's a marker. It's a target marker for aircraft, for squads. I'll fix that later. And for your teammates. So we're engaged in a firefight, right? Put the black one aside and go back to the tan one. We're engaged in a firefight, and we're seeing our guys out there. I'm gonna pull my trusty markers out to demonstrate. Here we are. We have our team of guys. We're 1, 2, 3, 4. We're a hardcore team, and we're laying in an ambush. All right, and there's a squad coming, down the road. Obviously there's more of them. They're making their way, doing their thing. Walking unsafely, unaware that you're watching them. Well, within this squad, you can clearly see. You'll be able to see a couple of things. Let's say guy number 2 is carrying a machine gun. So he's got a heavy weapon, a heavy high cap weapon. Or guy number 2, let's say he's an officer. We can clearly see that. Now what happens is, let's say the squad leader with his PEQ box will shine the light on him, prioritizing him as a target for the rest of the team. It's important to take everybody out, obviously, but it's important to note a priority target also. And that's what you're doing. You're pointing out, and guiding your squad. Now, let's clean things up a little bit. And that's one scenario. Let's look at it a little different. All right. We're in contact. We've just been ambushed. We're taking fire right now, and there's a sniper out here, and I can't see where he is. Because he's behind his little cover and wearing his ghillie and all that. But as a squad leader, the squad leader and as a team leader, my guys are counting on me to decide and tell them where to effectively lay their fire. We're going to return to contact, obviously, because we've taken fire, but where is it, that we need to focus it? Well, it's nighttime, and I'm telling guys, over here, you can't just say over here to the left, or, you can say, 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, but, that still leaves room for doubt and error. Well, you take that laser, you point it on your target, and it's an indicator for everybody else to see. All right, time to put BBs and plastic right there on that spot and take out the sniper. That's the true value of these PEQ boxes. Also, if you are in an adjacent building or you want to signal an attack, you say to yourself, you're using radio silence. You'd be like, we're going to mark the target, and let's say first platoon is in building A. Let me draw it out. Got my board. All right. This is how you would use your PEQ box as a signal device or an initiator for an assault. You got building A here, and you got building B here, and your objective will be to assault, building C. All right. So you got first squad here, and you got second squad here. All right. Well, first squad is fire support on building C, the target building, and second squad is assault. You can flip the roles backwards. It doesn't matter. All right. So before second squad can attack, they need to know that first squad is in place and ready to provide fire support and ready to go. Well, I'm up in my window. I'll shine my laser across onto building C, and that is the initiating signal. That says, "Ho, they've got it covered. They see them. They've got us covered, and now we can assault and take down the building." Boom. You now have your battle signal to acknowledge the attack and to set it off. All right. One more scenario. We're fighting in the streets, and we've got a building. It's got all these windows. This is my building. We're gonna make it 2 stories. All right, and these are the building's windows. All right, and we're taking gunfire from, the guy right here. Well, obviously, if he's not using a tracer unit, you're not going to be able to see where his BBs are coming from too easily. So it's a matter of finding and identifying the target, and then how do you focus everybody's attention and where to shoot? You point your laser in the window, signaling the rest of your squad or the rest of your platoon. Boom, that's where it is, and that's where you focus your energy. So beyond point at a guy and scare him or look kind of cool device, it is really an informational signaling relaying tool to use, and it's actually I would recommend that every squad leader should have a PEQ system, whether it's a red laser, green laser, it's your choice. Green lasers are the best because they're brightest, but a lot of ops don't like you to have them because of the hazard of shining them in somebody's face being bright. You should never shine a laser in somebody's face. You don't want to burn their retinas and eyes, and you don't want to blind them. That's a bad idea. So they usually, prefer you to use a red laser, which is less intense, but it still gets the job done. I use personally a green laser in mine on my M4, and I use it for a signaling device. And the flashlight, I'll use it in a building. It won't work it's not ideal for a really dark pitch blacky building, and it's not ideal. It's not a strobe, so it's not going to blind anybody too much. But it is that additional help, and for that purpose, it is good and useful to have. So that's our PEQ 15 replicas. Remember, the 1, 2, 3 batteries for these babies. They do burn out quick. Use the Surefire, or I use the Energizer. Some lithium Energizer batteries that are really good and last a long time. But always have extras. They take one each. They take one. Remember, dummy cord your equipment. Dummy cord it. Tie it to your rail system so you don't lose it. It doesn't pop off. Because I just don't trust this to really do the job in the long run. It's pretty well built, but I got a feeling one impact and it might not work as well anymore. And it doesn't look like it's simple to take apart and repair anything in it for sure. But it looks very good. There are bigger ones and bigger models. Stick to the PEQ 15 versions, which are these. These are nice and small, and they don't take up a lot of real estate. And that's something you kind of want to be aware of, and you don't want it to take. You don't want something to bulk up your weapon too bad. And this baby right here does a good job of not doing that. You can adjust the lasers, like I said, up and down, windage elevation. You got your up and down, left and right. All right, on that side, center button to on, big center button that's on and off, depending on what mode it's in. You got your weapons push to activate switches also, so those are all included. Overall, goodbye, great tool. Definitely This Week in Airsoft recommended, particularly for squad leaders or team leaders and above, to have one on their weapon. It does have its purpose. It is not a point at a guy and shoot sight. That's not what it's for. That's why you have your optics, and that's why you have reflexive sights. This is an aiming device and a signaling device that's a tool to use as a leader more than a aim at a guy intimidation device. It does have that cool factor, so don't get me wrong, it works for that too. And I hope you guys do enjoy it when you do get it. And like I said, plenty of places to get it overseas, in the States. Just make sure you get one that's a laser and a light. Or I know some of you run your batteries up front on your weapon. Get one that obviously is a laser and a battery holder. That's fine, especially if you're running another different light, something a little more powerful, if that's what you want. But these make good battery boxes. I prefer this over the guy that tapes his battery to his buttstock or tapes it to the outside of his IRS rail, because at least this will protect it from the elements a bit if it were inside of one of these shells. So keep that in mind and remember that. That's it for me this time. This is Javier, Dark Horse, with This Week in Airsoft, and I hope you learned a little more about our PEQ 15 modules and how they are not just point and shoot aiming devices. They are a valuable tactical tool, and this particular model right here is a good one to buy, a good investment to have for you team leaders, particularly out there and above. All right, thank you, and I will see you guys next time with the next product that comes across my desk for us to talk about. Bye.